How's it? And thank you for joining me for some more automotive shenanigans. In this video, we'll be continuing the Mark 1 Baja build by going to the junkyard and getting some stuff for a 5-lug swap and a brake upgrade. Now, we'll be getting quite a lot of benefits from this. Namely, we'll be having much better brakes. The brakes we'll be getting are off of a 1995 Passat GLX. And those are just much better. The rear ones are disc brakes, which are much better than the old dumpy drums that the pickup came with. In addition, the front rotors have a much wider diameter and more brake material. So it's just a much better braking setup. That Passat has a weight of something like 3,000 pounds, and the pickup truck is 1,900 pounds. So we'll be getting a lot more stopping force. In addition, we'll be getting stuff from a 5-lug Passat. So instead of the 4x100 bolt pattern that the pickup has, we'll be getting a 5x100. And that just opens a ton of doors in terms of wheels and tires. If you get yourself a 15-inch radius wheel, there's a lot more to choose from than the 14s that the pickup currently has. Anyway, that's what we got planned. On to the video.
No, I want like the whole thing. Take the whole thing.
So like everything.
Take this, snip that, get the pickle fork off of here, or get the ball joint off of that, and then we'll just peel this off.
Okay.
Take the whole.
So everything but the control arm and the tie rod.
Yeah, and it all just bolts right up because Volkswagen is lazy. All right, 21 for these. Oh man.
What, it come right off?
Yeah, sometimes they just don't. Lucky day. Oh, I don't think I've ever had 2 of these come off. It's always one or the other.
Somebody saved you a bunch of work with those camber bolts, even though now you're going to have to buy new ones.
That's fine. I'll probably just use the stock ones.
Oh, or just like borrow them out of another Volkswagen.
Yoink. I mean, we could. It's really that easy.
Yeah.
Here we go. Thought that was a 32, but it's a 30. Plop. Now we just gotta get the tie rod on this thing. Which, I can't believe it. I like took out my 3-pound sledge to do other stuff and forgot to repack it. Come on. Don't make me leave here empty-handed.
Here, I'll whack on it while you're Oops, sorry.
Bonk, bound to happen. Perfect. It's a 14. Ugh. Dusty. Problem is there's not enough space here to get a socket on. So away I go. There we go. There we go. I love the smell of axle grease. I know it's disgusting, but it's like, I've come to love it.
That and transmission fluid, I'll never
fresh ATF. I don't know, when I was cracking open like brand new transfer cases and you get to smell like the factory fresh mint ATF, it's the good stuff.
I hate all ATFs. I think it's... I can't get it.
I don't even know what, like, size bolt this is, like, size nut. I can't even guess under all this junk.
I bet you it's a 12 point, whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's my only guess.
It's because Volkswagen loves me. I'll make it all 12 points.
Well, I think
you
need to lock
yeah,
it
this
in
has got
place.
the lock. That's kind of slick. You don't have a castle nut. You just have a little insert on top of it.
Yeah.
Now, what does that look like to you?
If I was to guess, I would have no idea.
I'm going to say it's a 21. I have no clue, though. The torque spec for this is ridiculous. It's like, tighten it down to the point that you can, like, get a pry bar in here and push it to the side with so much force. It's like, dude, give me a torque spec.
Yeah.
I don't want to all this
Finger tight.
pat your head, rub your tummy crap. Yeah, finger tight. I'm grateful for it. Off you come. Just as long as we don't need a bearing puller today, I'm happy. Happy as a clam. Apparently, I usually always bring a hammer. It's like right up there with the PB Blaster of like the must-haves. Ta-da! That's most of our way in there. I kind of hoped it would all just unscrew from the back, but life doesn't work that way. Didn't even think about it. I'm just in Mark 1 mode, no ABS. Here, we'll use it as a...
Oh, look at that. Slides right off, too.
I don't know. I gave it a little wiggle before I started doing anything. It actually seemed like there was pretty decent. Is that just filth covering that now, or is that like a little ring of some kind? Good way, B. Yeah, what am I supposed to do about that?
Is that just a metal, like, ring?
It's blocking my way to the other things. I gotta get it out somehow. And I just spent forever trying to find like the right hex bolt for the ABS cable, and it was like a 5mm Allen. I have like the, you know, the 10 mil going right on top of it. Like, what's going on? That's not that round yet. To brace up the rear wheel. All right, 1, 2, 3.
There you go.
Ooh, that's what those engineer dollars are paying for. I don't know why they would do that either. Stick that on like that. They have to build the whole caliper assembly because, you know, you can't get on that easy at all.
Yeah, and like, yeah, you would think that they would make it in a way where you could at least get a socket on it. Like a 6 point, you know, so you don't round it off when it's too tight.
Yep.
Well, at least we've got one car.
1/4 of the way there. Alright, there we go. There's that off.
Probably could.
Listen to this. I didn't bother wobbling the tire, but I haven't messed with anything wheel bearing, but get a load of this. That's gotta be like horrible. I'm like terrible. I wonder if the whole bolt didn't just back off in there. Oh boy. Plonk. This stuff, I'm like, oh, I don't need to do it that way. I can go from this way. And then I got this off, and I'm like, oh, I couldn't have done it anyway. The highs and the lows of the car stuff. Be like, damn, I'm a god.
I do that a lot, like, because I like to just build stuff without really thinking about it too much. And then, like, when it just absolutely fails, or, like, I completely forgot about something and then have to redo it or undo it, like, maybe I'm not that smart.
Just smart enough to get into trouble.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's spinning. Yes. Yes! 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 I hate you. Why does it spurn my love? Gotcha, fool. And now finally, I don't even know why I would try to keep those. Those were hosed. Plop. Wish the Crown Vic ABS sensor came out like that. That was like back and forth for hours. Beautiful. There we go. Now we have 2 disc rear brakes. Got everything for our rear disc 5-lug swap that I can't or won't replace. I don't want to get charged for extra crap. So this is all I'm checking out with. It's always the last one, huh? Just needed to hammer it out a little bit more. I'd probably plop out with some heat. It's ridiculous, but we got to come back for that now. Dumb. And the other side, someone rounded this out. So come in with the Sawzall and just
Hello, we are back in voiceover land because I was too embarrassed to talk alone at the junkyard. And I got myself a pickle fork and I'm going to give that tie rod a good whack. And I'm just going to let you know right now that it doesn't work. And away we go. I spent so much more time than I should probably admit trying this out. Well, eventually I smartened up and I figured that I could just take this joint off of it. So that is a 20 millimeter, or a 22 millimeter, excuse me, and the vice grip would be a 13 mil, but I'm too lazy. And then just twist the thing off for what feels like forever. Plop. And now I'm just taking all the junk that I don't want off. This ABS sensor is a 5mm Allen. It needs a bit of prying. And next comes the caliper. That's just two 17mm. Rotor's junk. And surprising amount of material on those brake pads, but we're definitely not going to be keeping those. So after a lot of fiddling, I figured out this was the best way to get the ABS sensor out. Right between the sensor and the ring, you just get a pry bar and it comes right out. Way easier than what I was doing, just trying to wiggle it. And here we go. This is everything that we want. Unfortunately, we do have a couple things we don't want. We got this bit of tie rod and that ball joint. But thankfully I didn't get charged for it. Sometimes you get lucky. And the next side was a huge pain. I had to take off pretty much the whole corner. So here I am undoing the CV. This is a 6mm 12 point, which is Volkswagen specialty tools. You gotta buy them. And so here we go, that was sped up 5 times, and that was just one of the 6. Much time later, we're taking out the control arm. That also got seized up at the ball joint. And here's my lovely cheater bar, the pickle fork, and the breaker bar connected. And that's an 18 on the far end. Same for the front mount. That's an 18 as well. And really quickly just showing taking off the brake hose. This part right here, that's an 11 millimeter, and it's mounted onto the caliper with a 10 millimeter. And once again, we get our vice grip in 22 millimeter, and we're popping off the tie rod.
Come on. There we go.
Out she comes. And now the whole thing can just be ripped off. There we go. Now, unfortunately, I ended up having to pay for all this stuff that I couldn't unstick, and that added up to about like $100 more than what I was hoping to spend. But all in all, with the Passat springs for the lift and all the pieces for the disc brake setup, if I only got what I was hoping to get, it would have cost something around $200. So, I hope that was informative to you. Coming up next, we'll probably be taking all of this apart and getting it cleaned up and ready for paint. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good one.